Hello and welcome to game number 2 of this best out of 3 for the relegation matches for Starladder. That's right, it's been a while, I know, for the people that are watching the VOD, you can watch it at your own leisure, but we just had a break for about an hour and a half or maybe even 2 hours. So I'm just gonna recap shortly what this match is about, why we are watching this match, and who got, of course, game number 1. Because, like I said, it's a game number 2. It's a best out of 3 to decide which one of these two teams is going to be taking on a spot in a Starladder StarSeries. That's right, because there is Amateur Series, Pro Series, and StarSeries. StarSeries is the one that you're all familiar with, that has the big land final in Kiev every time. And Pro Series is the one below that. And to get from Pro Series to StarSeries, there are 2 ways. If you end in the top 2, you get through regardless. If you end 3rd or 4th, you can play matches against the 3rd and 4th last of the StarSeries together, and then the one that wins those matches go to the StarSeries. And those are called relegation matches. So that's what we're seeing right here. Now you can say, like, okay, you know what? I understand that perfectly fine, but there was no youBoat nor Ice Climbers in StarSeries previous season. That is correct, but youBoat has taken on the place of Pulse, because of course Pulse, they disbanded. We do have a couple of people from Pulse in youBoat right now, so that's why they took the spot from Pulse, and they got dropped down, or at least they got 3rd last, I believe, so they're up against the 4th place of Pro Series. But that is why we are seeing these matches. That is why we're seeing these two teams. It's Ice Climbers on the Radiant side this time, youBoat on the Dire side. Game 1 was in favor of Ice Climbers. We're gonna see if they can make a 2-0 sweep, or if youBoat can force out a game number 3. We're gonna not see a Bat Rider, nor a Darkseer, nor a Nyx Assassin, nor a Keeper of the Light. The Wisp that got picked first last game by youBoat is being completely ignored, as Ice Climbers managed to pick themselves up a Magnus in the first pick. Shadow Demon and Beastmaster are the ones that youBoat picked up. Quite odd to see a Beastmaster being picked up that early, because normally he's not really banned in the second banning phase either. I mean, he is very situational, but picking him up as a second pick is quite unique. So they better have some pro tactic together with that one, as well, they do get the Shadow Demon, so that's nice for them. The Shadow Demon was in a previous game in favor of Ice Climbers, I believe. No, that's not true. youBoat played it then as well. My bad. They had 2 dual lanes in that game. One of them was with a Shadow Demon and a Lina. Let's see if they want to try that again. They're going to be up against a Lifestealer and a Rubik. So far, we've got teamfight potential, we've got carry potential, we've got a support, and we've also got at least 2 lanes covered. In theory, you can of course have 3 lanes covered if you count the Rubik as a solo mid, but we're not really expecting that right now. So we're going to see probably a Rubik support, probably a Magnus solo, be it solo offlane, be it solo middle, both are possible. I'm kind of hoping that we're gonna see an aggressive trial lane. That would be nice, nice to see, even though previous game, of course, they had a safe lane. Also with a Lifestealer, I have to say.
Templar Assassin.
So we might be seeing the same thing as youBoat picked up their mid hero. It's gonna be a Templar Assassin, a hero that got ignored completely previous game, but they pick it up this time. With the Chen being banned out now by Ice Climbers, I mean, if you look at youBoat's lineup, you realize, okay, you know what, they've got a Shadow Demon, which is a support that can be combined up with a lot of different heroes. So in theory, they could go for dual lane. They've got Beastmaster potentially off lane, Templar Assassin mid, and then you only need either a tri lane hero, or you can get a jungle hero. But Ice Climbers say no. They don't want to have a Chen. They might be also banning out an Enigma if they really don't want to be facing that jungle hero, but we'll find out soon enough. As youBoat has a chance to ban something that they don't want to face right now. So if you look at Ice Climbers lineup, you already know that they're probably going to have at least a dual lane. Now, previous game, even though it was a very long time ago, Lifestealer and Rubik were on a tri lane, or at least, was it a Rubik? Yeah, it was a Rubik. Lifestealer, Rubik, and not a Jakiro, because Jakiro got banned out. I kind of forgot what it was so long ago. Enchantress being banned out here by Ice Climbers, they really don't want to face that jungle, but still are leaving the Enigma, and of course the first pick goes to Ice Climbers, so maybe they just want to pick up Oh, it was a Leshrac, of course, the support. Lifestealer Leshrac lane. But maybe they want to pick up the Enigma themselves. It could be possible. Rubik Lifestealer dual lane is definitely a possibility for them. We'll find out soon enough, though. And I think if they are not banning it right now, then maybe youBoat might be considering banning it out, of course, because it would be kind of obvious in a way. But depends on if they really not want to have, not want Ice Climbers to have that jungle hero. I mean, with the Magnus, you have kind of a small version of a vacuum, of course. And if you have a black hole over the top, it's quite a nice combination you have there if you pick up an Enigma there. There's gonna be a Faceless Void that gets banned out, so that's a carry that they do not want to face. Of course, that's one of the carries that can be up against heroes that are great with BKBs. I'm saying great with BKBs, but I'm hoping you realize that I also mean the Lifestealer. He has, of course, got a built-in BKB. So that is, Faceless Void would be a nice hero against well, anything with a BKB or Magic Immune thing, because you can just lock everything in your Chronosphere. As we just saw Furious Lax's movie, he is just, yeah, it's just that. With Lone Druid being banned out, a Tiny being picked up here again by Ice Climbers. They played it in the previous game as well. They had a Tiny Rubik lane and a Lifestealer Leshrac lane. Though Leshrac is gonna be picked up by youBoat. I said it in the previous game, because Shadow Demon was, of course, in the previous game as well. This time they're on the same side, but you still have that good combination. Disruption to follow it up with a Split Earth is pretty decent, so we're gonna see youBoat probably using that. We're trying to use those on the same lane, as we're still waiting to see what kind of carry they want to pick up. Now for carries, IC is already sorted. The question is, do they want to have another support together with the Lifestealer and the Rubik, and maybe even two dual lanes again with the Rubik Tiny mid and a Lifestealer something else bottom, or vice versa? Or do they want to have a jungle hero, which is still possible? Lifestealer could potentially be, nah, it would not be easy. Nah, well, they pick up a semi-support. I say semi-support because I'm kind of hoping he is more than just a support, but it looks like to be like a trial lane. It could be aggressive, but it's not really needed, like right, at least not now, depending on what carry the opponent picks up. But you kind of want to have that Lifestealer farming, so you don't really need to go look for aggression yet, because you have the Tiny to do that mid-game anyways. But let's see first what youBoat is going to be picking up, what carry they're thinking about running here. Phantom Lancer is still in, as well as, of course, the Anti-Mage. You know, every single carry apart from Faceless Void and Lone Druid are basically still in. So there's a lot of potential for youBoat to pick something that they really want. If they might go for full mid-game, in which case they could, for example, pick up a Gyrocopter or Mirana to go for an aggressive trial lane, Beastmaster safe lane, and Mirana it is. The reason I also said Mirana was Shadow Demon, Leshrac, and Mirana is a very strong trial lane. It is a disruption followed up with an arrow from Mirana. Now that hurts with the Soul Catcher on there, just saying. It is it even got a bit buffed, so it hurts a lot. And Leshrac's done, of course, to follow up on that one. And this is basically a bit mid-game, because late game, Lifestealer, Tiny, they're gonna eat Mirana up. Completely. But it is gonna be Mirana, so arrows all the way, and trying to catch people unaware with, of course, the arrow without them having the BKB on. Ooh, there we go. That's the one that I was looking for. We're gonna see who's playing what first, though. Let's see. It is gonna be Vingo playing the Leshrac. We're gonna have DDD playing the Beastmaster. Raw Eater is gonna be having to play Mirana this game. We're seeing Pinoy playing the Templar Assassin, and it's gonna be Bonsai who's gonna be playing the Shadow Demon. Already going towards the bottom lane, but that's probably only to ward. We'll soon see who's going where, but it looks like we are going to have an aggressive trial lane. I like it a lot. They just want to stop this Lifestealer before it gets too bad. Lifestealer is going to be played again by Inquisitor. It's going to be Sharfik on the Tiny once more. This time they're going to have a stand-in. It's going to be played by Serva on the Magnus. It's going to be Lolik who is going to be playing the Rubik. Again, the same time, and Talentino, the one who was playing the Leshrac in the previous game, is going to be playing the Earthshaker in this game. So that is going to be the lineup for Ice Climbers. And we now also have a team profile for youBoat. They didn't have that in the previous game, but they do now, so that's nice. But yeah, we are going to have an aggressive trial lane. I like it. I like it a lot. Like, Mirana, you don't see her that often anymore, purely because she does need a bit of farm, and she's like, she's also not the hardest to carry. Like, you really pick her only in select situations like that mid-game. If you're really aiming for that, then yeah, that's great. And of course, she can leap away. She is a ranged carry. They kind of needed a ranged carry, because if you're gonna be having a melee carry and you're gonna be up against a lifestealer, a Tiny, and a Magnus, that's all melees. And either you're gonna get reverse polarity, you're gonna get eaten, you're gonna get tossed and avalanche. You don't want that. You want to be able to shoot from a distance. So Mirana is a good one there. And I'm not gonna say the only option. Gyrocopter would have been nice as well, but Mirana it is for this game. As we're gonna see how this aggressive trial is gonna be working out. As we already see Bonsai and Vingo trying to come in from the back, or at least making sure there's not going to be a pull happening. They warded also, so that's not going to be happening. Earthshaker will be accompanying Lifestealer on the bottom lane. This is pretty tricky, so you have 2 melee heroes against 3 ranged. So in theory, youBoat should be coming out ahead here. And this is something we have to keep in mind. Like, if you're on aggressive tri lane, you're already counting on getting ahead. That is what you are there for. You're an aggressive tri lane, so you want to be aggressive. So that is something that might be tricky. We do have now Rubik coming here as well. It's going to be arranged, at least someone. A telekinesis there to stop things. Like, if you are up against an aggressive trial lane, having melee heroes is not that bad, especially not if one of them is an Earthshaker. Now, Earthshaker is known, of course, for his Fissure, and is basically, you know, once you lay down that Fissure, anybody who is going to be initiating on anyone is going to be stopped. Either he can't continue to walk through because there's a Fissure in the way, or he's going to be stunned, can't follow up the stun perfectly in the case of a Leshrac. So there's definitely some safety net for this Lifestealer here. But youBoat, I mean, I say this every single time there's an aggressive tri lane. But I will say it again. I mean, if you're an aggressive tri lane and you're not going to be getting kills, you're not going to be stopping your opponents from farming, you are losing the lane. And that's going to be warded right now, so that's not going to be a spawn for the...
That is ours.
Oh, that's a counter ward. And that's already being spotted out, by the way. But yeah, that's not going to be a spawn there. Oh, open wounds. Wants to go for this. Shadow Demon. Going to be the target. Here comes an arrow. It's going to hit on the Earthshaker. Fissure's still there, though. And they can't run out because the Fissure is there. Leshrac's done up on 2, though. Who can they find? Telekinesis up on Mirana. Wall Eater looking for his next target. Is going to be Lifestealer. Can they get another ability in? Or is this just right clicks? Misses. He walks the other way around, pops a salve, will be fine. Earthshaker, Fissure, Wall Eater has to be careful. He has a leap though. He eats his way out. Doesn't even need a leap. But that's just a small potential. Like, they have got 2 anti-ganks here. Like, Fissure is one of them. Disruption is one of them. Anti-abilities, anti-gank abilities. And well, the Fissure was just used defensively. Disruption was aggressively though up on the Lifestealer, but they couldn't get the damage in. Not really enough damage. And the Shrek stun, even though the two-person stun was great, it was not enough to work something out there. As we're gonna just swap to the mid lane for a second, because we're gonna have Pinoy at 12 for 3, with Tiny being 9 for 5, fairly even, slightly in favor of the Templar Assassin. As, well, for now, none of these 2 heroes should be able to kill off each other, and if someone is gonna die, it's gonna be the Tiny that should be dying, because of the refraction, of course, from the Templar Assassin. Look at this harassment already going on. Sharfake in a lot of trouble. Toss goes off. Just harassment, though, and he might actually die if this. He doesn't have any mana. He might be going for first blood, but Pinoy, he is still... No, he's still alive, and he melts, and he is alive. He gets the first blood. Sharfake goes down.
Until it has been
An empty bottle, perhaps, but at least... he is gonna be able to maybe fill his bottle if he's lucky. 4-minute rune? Pinoy? No? Has to run away from that creep. 5 seconds until see if he's gonna get lucky. In the meantime, on the top lane, I'm happy I swapped there. First blood. Yep, happened. Rune is gonna be on the bottom lane. Double damage rune goes the way of Bonsai, and that actually forces Pinoy all the way back. In the meantime, looks like we're gonna have some aggressiveness coming off here with Rubik coming in from the sidelines, thinking about maybe landing a telekinesis up on Mirana. Mirana, who's actually being given the experience by his teammates. Level 2 still up on the Leshrac, and even Shadow Demon all the way from the lane. Level 2 on him as well, while Mirana is 3.5. Lifestealer though, 3 and a bit. 3.5 also, a bit ahead of Wall Eater. That's no surprise though, as well, he is a bit more left alone than Wall Eater is. It's basically that simple. As we're seeing Bonsai and Vingo, they're just looking for a way in. Can't find it though. Not with that Fisher there, not with the telekinesis there. In the meantime, mid lane, another harassment going on. Pinoy might be trying to go for a trade again and doesn't even get a trade, he just gets another kill. Melt damage going through and double damage from helping out. And he gets a second kill of the game, gets it on Ice Climbers. And in the meantime, it's going to be Serva, who is 14 for 16 on last hits versus his Beastmaster. Beastmaster, who's now level 6. So might be looking to leave the lane soon with the roar. Same thing goes of course for Serva, because with the reverse polarity he might be able to help out bottom and just get himself a team fight going there. In which case, if DDD doesn't TP fast enough, then that is gonna be youBoat in big problems there. Beastmaster 23 for 8, so he is ahead on last hits on the Magnus. But for those two heroes, for both of those two heroes who are normally just solo offlane, levels is more important than last hits, which is why they're put on the safe lane, because it's not that important how much farm they get. Yes, it's nice, very nice even, but it is the levels that are important, and the levels is what counts. And we do have Pinoy now with face boots, gonna try to go for Serva, but Serva just scores himself away. We'll be fine. No roar in time from Beastmaster, try and get himself a kill, and that's gonna be an excursion for Pinoy that is totally, completely wasted. And that is going to give Sharfik a lot of extra farm here in this mid lane. He's now 22 for 8. Managed to pick himself up slightly. Pinoy 17 for 4. So even though he's ahead in kills, he is not ahead in last hits. And that is also, of course, just because of his excursion there. In the meantime, it's going to be Wall Eater, who's 31 for 10. So he's doing great there with last hits. While Inquisitor is 12 for 0. Now, the thing is, he is getting levels. He might not be getting as much farm. But as long as he's getting levels, he's just fine. And he is, well, at least as long as he's getting levels and he's up against an aggressive tri-lane, he is okay-ish. He's not even being helped anymore, he's just by himself.
Radiant's middle tower
So when he stays alive, he's fine. In the meantime, looks like Beastmaster in a lot of trouble. Reverse polarity, no mana left on the Magnus, can't do anything. Don't think he was aware that his mana was that low, because both of these heroes, like Beastmaster as well as the Magnus, are of course heroes with a great level 6 ability to try and get kills. And what do you want to do as soon as you get level 6? You want to actually get kills. So that's why we saw Pinoy rotating, that's why we saw the Tiny rotating, but both of them failed, both of them didn't get a kill. But who did get a kill was Bonsai. He was able to pick up the kill on the Lifestealer, which gank we didn't see. No mana left on Talentino, probably landed a Fisher Steel, but not going to be able to get away from that. Edict level 2, Soulcatcher on there probably because no creeps around. And well, like we already said, he was by himself for a while, so... Inquisitor not as great as the bottom lane as he thought he was having. At least again back in experience range, but he has to be very careful. He can't let himself get caught out that much. Not when mid lane is already slightly won by Pinoy by getting 2 kills on the board against Sharfik, who has got nothing. He should be having something in the bottle though. Avalanche hits. Can he do something more? Refraction at least is off, but he can't do anything more. In the meantime, Talentino just goes down. Walk past the ward, and that's something you should not do. Not with Leshrac there, not with the disruption followed up by a stun. Mirana coming in also, of course, getting the assist only, so no kills for her just yet. In the meantime, the lane has pushed out towards Inquisitor's tower, so he is happy with that as the toss comes out from the Tiny. The toss Pinoy back into the lane. I saw it on the minimap, unfortunately not in the game itself. It's on the big screen where you can see it also, but it looks funny on the minimap anyway. I just wanted to make sure that he's no longer in danger. And it looks like they might be trying to go for the mid lane. Thinking about it, exclamation marks came out, but it's gonna be bottom lane instead. There's no wards up here for the Radiant side. This is the only one here. So this Lifestealer has to be very careful. Disruption could start things off. Open wounds though. Bonsai trouble. Disruption on himself now. Defensively, Leshrac stun not gonna hit. Bingo doubting himself. Where is he gonna go? Where is he gonna hit? Fisher gonna go down. Hits and a toss in. Bingo trouble. Is there gonna be more? Fade Bolt will finish him off, and that's gonna be Leshrac on wall. You're trying to get himself away. Will be able to do so, and that's the excursion from Sharfik. That was successful. Well, this time Pinoy is sticking inside the mid lane. And we still have not had a roar from Beastmaster, had not had a reverse polarity from the Magnus, or at least not what that resulted in the kill. Well, they're still skirmishing and trying to get their items up. I mean, it's odd to see that. Like normally you'd expect them to go for kills, to go for make a difference on lanes. But well, at the same time, it's also understandable. I mean, they want their items up. They want to be able to at least get an advantage on the lane before they leave the lane, right? And so far, by their own knowledge, they don't really have it, even though Magnus 36 for 11, while Beastmaster has 44 for 14, so he's a bit ahead, Beastmaster that is. As we have a smoke up here. Bonsai and Leshrac coming in from the side. There is a ward there, of course, but no vision just yet because the smoke is still there. Ward being placed. And they just walk away. Tower range. Giving safety to the members of Ice Climbers. They're gonna go mid instead though. Disruption, Leshrac, Stun, Split Earth following up. There is a great potential here, but at the same time, Sharvik checking the rune. It's the bottom rune, it's invisibility. Might see him walking around there with Vingo. Oh, there he comes. And they have a ward there, so they see him coming. Saw him coming, I should say. Sharvik actually backing off. He has his own ward here, so he also saw them. Is just being very careful there. In the meantime, bottom lane is almost completely empty. I was gonna say, well, you're taking a lot of damage. They're having to leap away. Trap going off, and Sharvik here. Arrow is gonna hit. It's gonna hit. Rubik, a long range stun. And there's the melt damage going through. Pinoy getting himself another kill. Roar going up. Being Visitor, no rage. He jumps himself into a creep. Able to get himself away from first polarity coming in. Hello, Sarah. Hits on 2. They're gonna be able to get Pinoy with that at least. In the meantime, Beastmaster getting himself out. Here comes Inquisitor again. Wants to go for Bingo. Toss there. Bam. Dead. Leshrac down. Avalanche. Bonsai down. 5 on 5 on the boards. 1-4-4 on this bottom lane. Reverse polarity does it again. And it all started off with that perfect arrow from Mirana up on the Rubik. Weren't able to get the lifesteal in time before he hit himself, and then it all went south for youBoat. Ice Climbers getting back on top of the horse. The figure of speech horse, that is. Anyways, there was of course the first reverse polarity that we saw, the first roar that we saw. They came at the same time. Though I have to say, like, if you combine the two, it was pretty simple what happened. Like a roar on 1, only a kill on 1. Reverse polarity on 2, kill on 4. Well, you know what I mean. And Pino, even though he still got the kill on the support, he did go down. That was the first time he died. And that is pretty painful for him. In the meantime, Magnus now in the mid lane, level 9 versus level 9. And this is interesting to see. Normally you see the offlaners being at a bit lower level. Trap goes up, melt damage going through. Is he gonna chase it? He has a refraction up, Scooter away though. And that's the kill still. The hit flying, Avalanche toss, Pino, it goes down still. Melt damage is not enough. Tiny picks up the kill, otherwise the Fisher would have been there just in case. 6 for 6, a trade in the mid lane, offlaner for a solo mid laner. In the meantime, invisibility rune and haste rune up on Bonsai, disruption there. Soul Catcher as well, arrow will hit by Rubik. I think you're dead. Here comes Sharvik though, looking for an opening. Toss in. Hello, Inquisitor. I don't think he realized he was gonna go in that far. There goes the roar, and he jumps himself inside a creep once more and able to get himself out alive. Again on solo HP when he did that, and again able to get away. He rages, gonna be able to get away. Sharvik now goes on Vingo. He dropped by the Echo Slam of Talentino. Disruption will lock in Sharvik for a while. Arrow will miss. Talentino gets trapped still. Leap away from Oider. Here comes Pinoy again, trying to get something done. Avalanche hits again. Reverse polarity on 3. Shockwave. That's 2 already down. Is he gonna get Pinoy again? That would be devastating. Another toss in. Avalanche. Or sorry, open wounds up on Bonsai. He's gonna be able to get away. Pinoy will be able to get himself away as well. Or will he? Getting chased down. 5 heroes here. Waiting for him. Leshrac gonna miss everybody. Avalanche. Pinoy. Trouble. Dead. As well as the Earthshaker though. At least Shadow Demon was able to get that from the sidelines. But Vingo is gonna go down again. And that's Magnus with a double kill, and that is all of a sudden, what was 6 for 6 is now 11 for 8, sorry, it's 5 for 2 kills in favor of Ice Climbers. Once again, team fights go their way. I mean, who would expect anything different if you have a Magnus on your side? You will be expecting the Magnus team to win their team fights, and they did. And I mean, I say Magnus team, but they also have a Echo Slam. They have got a Avalanche, which is quite nice. If you look at teamfight potential on youBoat, it's not really there. They've got amazing pick-off potential with the Disruptor, and Arrow, Leshrac Stun, etc. With a Roar or Meld or Traps, but it's all single target. It's all single target, and that is what's hurting them a lot right now, because when they start going on a single target, everybody TPs in. And that is gonna be the end of youBoat then, because that team fight is not something that they can take. In the meantime, Inquisitor enjoying his freedom on the bottom lane. He's been escaping death quite a while now actually, with these infests at the right time constantly. He has died only once so far. He's been in 5 kills. He's got 48 last hits. Even though he's not farming that great, he is definitely picking up. And in the meantime, top lane is gonna be TP'd into because they want to defend their tower. Edict still going off. Serva, trouble. He still has a reverse polarity in 7 seconds though. Bonsai coming in. Roar going off. Magnus. Soul Catcher up on the Tiny. The Shrexel still falling off. Disruption on the Tiny as well. Here comes Axis flying through. Can they do anything? Here goes a Roar back in the face of Pinoy. And a reverse polarity. Up onto Vingo. Oh, up on 3 actually. Sorry. Vingo will be the one to die. Tiny's toss will make sure of that one. DD backing himself up. No more Roar for him. Pinoy trouble for him. Can he get himself away? Maybe if he melts, he still picks up the kill though. First, Perfection still on there. Gets another kill. Magnus goes down. Rubik goes down. But Pinoy goes down as well. As here comes Sharvik once again. Disruption there once again. Soul Catcher up on there as well, but he will be able to get himself away as he reaches level 12 while he is in the disruption. Or at least it looked that way. Leshrek's stun gonna hit. Avalanche still hits though, but it's just harassment now. They can't do anything to kill this one off right now. Not enough damage right now. But they did take something back. They did get some more kills. It was 2 for 2. Even trade. But Pino getting a lot of the kills. Yes, he died, but he got a lot of those kills. He's actually, he died 4 times. So out of the 12 kills... Oh, hello. Ooh, telekinesis, Vingo, trouble, he's dead. Potential with toss combinations Tiny is insane. Tossing Fissure, tossing Echo Slam. Who needs a Blink Dagger when you can toss, right? Blink Dagger, tossing in Magnus, etc. You can also just, yeah, you can toss in everything basically. Because every single hero on the side of IC has got some sort of disable. Now, of course, Lifestealer is not really a disable, but he can at least open wounds, make sure someone stops chasing or something like that. And that's, of course, worth a lot already. Let's take a look at the items real fast. We have the mechanism up on the server, up on this Magnus. We've got Talentino, not having that one. Oh, am I really calling him Talentino? I'm sorry. Ooh, oh no. Oh, or you toss enemies into your own and into your own allies. I'm calling him Talentino, but he's actually Talento. I'm sorry. It's of course from the movie Valentino. Yeah, you know what I mean. Whatever. It's Talento. I think he should change his name to Talentino though. It sounds cool. Ooh, toss in. Hello, Magnus Shockwave going through. I don't think he was expecting that one. Disruption, Soul Catcher, Roll Bonsai. I think you're in a lot of trouble right now. More TPs incoming. There goes an arrow flying. It hits up on Serva, but can they go in on it? Avalanche hits on 2. No more mana left on the Earthshaker right now. He has to get himself away. Will be able to do that on 21 HP. As in the meantime, it is another toss. Back with you, and it is Mirana Warrior that drops by the force of his own teammate landing on his head. And that's gonna be painful. It's gonna be very painful. Oh, Bonsai up on the high ground with the shockwave, Skewer rather. They know where he is though. Leshrek stun from the Rubik, that is. So Rubik's Leshrek stun finishes him off. Split Earth being stolen, a very good spell to steal, of course. And in the meantime, it is of course Ice Climbers that are pulling ahead right now. Even though the start on the bottom lane was not as great for the Lifestealer as he would have had, he's a bit on par with the Mirana again on far. Mirana, who hasn't really shown for herself that much. We're gonna have the gold graph going towards Ice Climbers as well, 2k gold. We have the experience graph showing it a bit more clear, 5k experience, as Templar Assassin finds death once again. Tiny being the killer in this case, and that was the place where Pinoy was well, probably not quietly sitting, but he died there. Violently killed. And they're looking to go for the next tier 1 tower. Quite surprisingly, with all these skills on the board, both of these teams have not gotten that much towers in return for these skills. So this is only going to be the second tower to go down in the game. But it will go down into the hands of Tiny, who's now got 2200 gold. Might actually buy a Blink Dagger. There he goes, picks it up. Well, I was checking items before that, wasn't I? Where is more items that I haven't seen yet? Can you stop being so mobile? But yeah, he picks up Bonsai. Not a very interesting kill. It's just a support Avalanche Toss combination will do that job. TP out from Leshrek to get himself out of that place. Mirana, like we saw, she has not got that much. Probably building towards a Yasha. Does have the recipe now. Has got the Blade of Leprosy. As she gets a Fissure in the face. Telekinesis there as well to the other side of the Fissure with you. Can leap over it though. Blinking. Toss is still there. Echo Slams. There's no chance, even with the invisibility, no chance for her to get away. Way too many people up on on top of her head. Literally, that is. With these tosses. Sharfrick is just everywhere right now. No towers down yet on the side of Ice Climbers as well, even though with the Leshrac there, you might and even with Leshrac expecting a Diabolic Edict, which he normally lately hasn't been doing all that much, or at least, well, I say that oddly, but I mean, most players that play Leshrac lately have been specking that Lightning Storm, rather than going for the Edict. Pure, oh, bye bonsai. But yeah, this is the first tower going down. There we go. And that's going to be some extra gold onto the hands of Pinoy, who's also building towards his Blink Daggers. In the meantime, the tier 1 tower top is looking to be in trouble because as you look at the minimap, there's a lot of people coming in. All for that tier 1 tower. And I do think Wall Eater feels the heat. He's going to be moving into his own jungle. Maybe. As he, yeah, they scout where he is though. They might just try to find him and kill him. Looking for him, cannot escape anymore, locked in by the illusion. Avalanche toss, and Wall Eater is toast.
Crushed you.
Yeah, you did crush him indeed, and there goes the tower. No defense for it. Wall Eater by himself couldn't get away in time and dies with the tower, as there's now no tier 1 tower left standing up on youBoat, and it does look like it's gonna be a bit more one-sided from now on, because I mean, as you look at it, there's no teamfight that can counter Ice Climber's team fight potential up on youBoat. Yes, you can TP out from the lifesteal. That's at least something you can do. They TP out. And as you can see, Ice Climbers, they know that. They're just roaming around with 5. They're just 5-man Dodaing right now. And they just constantly want to push or want to kill. And so far, they have had success since the moment that they started doing this. Oh, Lifestealer infesting himself into the blinking Tiny, looking for a target. There is a ward up on the high ground for the Radiant team. Might find someone, and they do. Bye, Maranas. Wow, I can draw good circles. In the meantime, tier 1 tower, tier 2 tower rather, is going to be a Ratio. Nothing that youBoat can do to defend this. Skull Basher up on the Lifestealer now as well. He is getting pretty farmed. Already had his armlet. In the meantime, bottom lane, Pinoy with his Blink Dagger now. Still pushing, but you know, if you look at the heroes, like the type of heroes, you see a Beastmaster, you see a Templar Assassin. Both of those two heroes are very defining for this stage of the game. You go around as soon as Beastmaster level 6, get a roar in, get kills in. If you wait too long, it's not gonna be good. Same thing goes for Templar Assassin. When you get your items up, like a Blink Dagger and Face Boots, is basically all you need. You go and look for kills, but where are you gonna find kills if the team that you're up against is constantly with 5? Bye, Hawk. They do know that they've been scouted, of course, by Roshan, but really, what can they do against it? What can youBoat now do against this Roshan kill? Nothing, even though IC is thinking they can do something, that is, Tiny. Oh, Wall Eater. I think you're dead. No, not. He can blink after it though. Like, the leap will not be hurting that much. He can still leap if he wants to. Trap going off, trying to bait it out. No, no longer a blink there. Avalanche toss. Or just a toss rather. Ooh. And here also comes a blink away. Roar going off on Tiny. Thou shall not come. 4th, that is. They back off. youBoat, they don't want to be here. And I don't blame them. Marla being still very low, didn't use her leap until later and was able to get herself away. He has got a Yasha for the Manta style, but is she gonna be able to carry her team later on? I'm not sure. First Mythra Hammer ready up on Templar Assassin. I mean, in the time that the Ice Climbers are roaming around as 5, youBoat is making sure that they're gonna be able to get farm over the map. They've got the bottom lane pushed out. They've got 3 towers down of their own on the opposing team, so they get some gold from that. And they're making sure they're not fighting. Basically, that's the only thing that you can do. If you're up against a 5-man Dota squad, as in 5-man Dota, the trick is not to fall for the not to be forced in the 5-man Dota, just to be farming and do your own thing. The danger comes, of course, when your own thing is actually picking heroes up, because that's not going to be possible. Avalanche toss, jump out, disruption. Saving the life of Beastmaster for now. Shrek stun gonna be helping out, but there is a rage up on Lifestealer. He's not gonna let himself get stunned. Beastmaster. Oh. How did he see him? Oh, Gem of Crusade. Hello. And it's gonna be the wards going down. But yeah, trying not to fight is basically all that youBoat can do. Trying not to fight and farm, waiting until ice climbers are gonna get bored of this game, to say, like, as in bored of trying to fight Mando. Like at some point, yeah, their tier 2 towers will be down as well. But then you can at least make sure that ice climbers are not able to push into the base, because if they do, they lose something else. Like they have to trade, like you have to have something else pushed in. And that is gonna be something that, like, at some point, ice climbers will think, okay, you know what, let's wait until they make a mistake, because we're not gonna get anything done. And if they make the mistake that they do that, then you might be able to pick something up. And if they do continue to harass you, to try and push in, and they can't, you are making them waste time while you might still be able to get farm. Like, this is the only thing that you can do. You cannot fight up your base, and what do? You threaten their base. This is all you can do. Edict going through. This is when Edict is handy. In the meantime, Beastmaster does go down on the top lane, but this bottom lane, fortification is not there. The tier 3 tower is gonna go down, but also on the top lane, tier 3 tower is gonna drop. A bit later though, as the tier 3 tower bottom is already down, and that's a blink away from Pinoy. As the barracks are gonna get harassed, TP's out though. Here comes the lifesteal over, moves up on Bonsai. As Servi jumped in here as well. We still have the tiny top though. And Bonsai trying to get himself away, will be going down there. Voider leaping himself away, TP out from the Shrek. In the meantime, barracks are still standing as the Shadow Demon goes down still. And Mirana goes down still to the Magnus. So no leap away for her. No. Pinoy, dead. And this is probably gonna be at least one set of racks, or at least it already is a set of racks, maybe even two, because of 50 seconds without the Templar Assassin, 20 seconds without the Mirana. They might be playing it safe and just force back, or not, or they just jump themselves in and roar back and forth, Echo Slam. And that's gonna be Vingo going down. Mechanism still helping out, but he can't escape, or can he? Tries to run himself away past the tier 4 towers. Is it gonna be a toss of anything? Earncharge, of course, sticking through, and he will be going down. Still lands a lightning though. Blink in from Pinoy, who buys back, gets himself some smashed in the face from Sharfik. Rubik already down. There goes the Aegis still. Gem dropping on the floor in the meantime, as Rubik is indeed the one that died. We still have the Earthshaker dropping as well. Can they still get Sharfik? Avalanche toss. This is trouble. 3 versus 1. They should be able to get him down. Or can they not? Here comes Inquisitor. Disruption there trying to save the Beastmaster. Demonic Purge there. Arrow not gonna hit. Rage was still on there. And now Bonsai trouble. But Inquisitor, he's the one that drops. Mirana picking up the kill. And youBoat, they're defending this. They killed off everybody apart from Serva, who was of course one of the people that TP'd down. And stayed down to defend their barracks. And the arrow comes from the tiny on the bottom lane. On the minimap, that is. They want to go for the bottom lane. They want to go for this tier 2. This tier 3. And then maybe rotate for the next tier 3 or just go for the tier 4s. But youBoat, they defended this. And they did do a very good job in trying to split push, or trying to make sure that some were forced back. And that gave them the opportunity to fight, because they did not fight in a 5-on-5 even situation. And that was good for them. Like, they might have lost the fight in the end because they still lost their barracks. But I don't think they're out of the woods yet. Desolator almost up on the Templar Assassin, just needs that last Minter Hammer. In the meantime, the Manta Style is ready up on Wall Eater. Might make a difference as well. As we have Beastmaster building towards the Aghanim's, wants to have a roar more and more often. And this is a Nake's bomb. Let's see who he's gonna find with it. Hello, Lincoln. Oh! Hello, Talento. There goes an Echo Slam, still disruption, helping Mirana save her life. Open wounds were there. Oh, reverse polarity. Hits on 3, 1 down, 2 down. Bonsai roar goes up on Servine, but still already 3 down. Buyback from Bonsai, wants to TP himself back in. In the meantime, Beastmaster trying to get himself away from that blaze. Wants to be able to, will be able to. As Pinoy is sitting here melted, they still know where he is though. And he blinks himself away. But he blinks himself away from his own tier 2, away from his own base. And he's gonna get chased. Surfa blinking after him, who's going for a refresher, by the way. Also, of course, has his own BKB, or sorry, Blink Dagger already. But this tier 3 will probably, this tier 2 will probably die. Nyx bomb's too powerful.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And blink daggers everywhere on the side of Ice Climbers. Also Earthshaker having one. Actually, the only one that doesn't have a blink dagger is this guy right here, Lifestealer, but he doesn't need one because he just jumps into a hero that actually has a blink dagger. Overpower helping a lot here farming these ancients. There's of course no new items up on youBoat. I mean, they have been having issues with buying back. We even had Bonsai buying back previous fight, even though he didn't do that much after he died, sorry, after he came back. Still, they did get their Avalanche Toss by Dagon, of course. We already saw it earlier, but now it's level 2. But yeah, we did see the gem going back to the hands of Ice Climbers. Does Rubik probably has it again? No, it's not Rubik. Refresher complete. Where? Oh, they destroyed the gem? Where's the gem? Crazy talk. Yeah, they left the gem somewhere, or they destroyed it. Didn't want it anymore. But at least it's no longer up on youBoat. And for Ice Climbers now the path begins to try and take down another set of racks. He's got a Lifestealer inside of him. Avalanche Toss, Dagon, Disruption trying to save his life. And it is gonna be Lashrekson turned around, and the Sentry Ward, of course, helping out. No escape by Mirana's ultimate. Demonic Purge up on Serva. Does have a score, scores himself in. Reverse Polarity is up as well, and even got a Refresher in case the first one fail. Arrow, though, it will hit on Talontel. Can they get him? Telekinesis up on Wall Eater, trying to get himself away still. But they're fighting in the base. They're fighting near the fountain. This is a fight. This fight kind of shows the state of the game that is so much in favor of Ice Climbers. Avalanche, Toss, Blinking, Dagon, but no death this time. Oh, never mind. Hello, Rubik. There's Rexon coming up from him. Still able to pick him up. Rubik still died for that, though. So Rana picks him up by his back. Trap going off, slowing down 3. They're on their way out. They smoke up. Can they go in again on the other side? They still have the reverse polarity. Hell, they even have 2. They just need to find an opening. Everybody blink in, everybody kill. Blink in. That's first. Leap away. Oh, outside of the base. But I gotta be careful. Skewer misses. Wall Eater cannot leap anymore for another 10 seconds.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
There's tosses everywhere, apparently. Blink level 3. Mirana, still on the run. Has got another leap, though. But yeah, it's forced just outside of their base. Her base. Picks up a haste room, but she doesn't have a... She doesn't have a TP, so she has to actually run back to base. In the meantime, she cannot defend. She can just try to maybe farm some. She actually used her Hand of Midas, which is not that bad. And another Lifestealer infested up on Tiny. So yeah, 12k gold, experience graph towards the 20k is just looking very much in favor of Ice Climbers right now. The tri lane of youBoat not being aggressive enough, or at least not being successfully aggressive enough. Middle lane, even though going good for Pinoy. I believe it was the rotation of the top lane heroes that made the difference most. Beastmaster not coming off fast enough with those kills. The kill that they should have had up on Magnus when he was still level 5 when Pinoy came around. That could have turned so many things about this game. But the kill missed, and they didn't get the kill, so they, well, the first time they showed off their roars and reverse polarities, it was already in favor of Ice Climbers, and then youBoat, they just continued team fighting on the bottom lane for a period of time, and in the meantime, Towers gonna get a rest. What did he steal? He stole Edicts. Towers will go down faster, it's always good.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
Barracks will drop here. As I'll just remind you, this is a game number 2 of the Starladder Relegation matches. The winner of this best out of 3 will be going to StarSeries next season. Season 5 will be, oh, Avalanche, Toss, Bonsai, Disruption on himself, but will he stay alive? I don't think so, no. Tiny gets a double kill. In the meantime, reverse polarity up on 2 on the sidelines. There is a reverse polarity again, but no mana for him. Pinoy trying to get himself away. Edict hitting on him from Lolik. As the melt, he cannot get away. Fisher there, arrow misses everybody, and Pinoy They don't see him, but they know exactly where he is. They gotta have another stop though, but he blinks away. In the meantime, Echo Slam, Wall Eater leads himself away just in time, but it's all youBoat on the retreat. youBoat, the one that's on the losing side. youBoat, the one that cannot stand against IC. They will see their barracks being picked off, their mid carry being picked off. Their barracks being picked off. Disruption there upon Tiny, but they can't go. Lead being stolen by the Rubik. Telekinesis up on Bonsai, trying to run himself away. Hello, Wall Eater, what are you gonna do here? Stall Starstorm, but your squishy arrow misses. Talonto running for his life. Wall Eater wants to get at least one kill, gets it as well, but can he get more buyback from the Tiny as he just died as well? But the middle barracks still down. And it's all fights in favor of Ice Climbers, even though they die. It's 40-18. The trades are not in favor of youBoat. And their carry not able to carry just yet. She's got nice damage, but she's a glass cannon right now, and that's the risk of picking up a Mirana as Beastmaster finds his death inside, well, Avalanche and toss from the Tiny. Or should I say that? It was just a level 3 Dagon. And they can start bashing on these tier 3s. Because the creeps are already in the base, bashing on tier 4s. And when creeps are in the base, there's no backdoor protection. There goes the tower. Mirana gets an avalanche toss, telekinesis, a leap being stolen again by the Rubik. Or no, it's the arrow actually. Lifestealer picking up the Shadow Demon in the meantime as Pino is thinking about coming here. Pinoy and Leshrac, the only two left alive. Leshrac trying to juke it in the towers, but they were in the trees rather, but finds death only. And the GG gets called, so it will be Ice Climbers that we will see in the StarSeries. And we will see them at the end of this month, I believe. The new StarSeries begins season 5. And I do see that I am dropping frames.
Return to the soil.
Oh, I'm so tired of dropping frames. It's good again, but yeah, it's back. Anyways, we're gonna have another relegation match tomorrow, and tomorrow it will be a special situation because of course there was 25 who actually was well, forced to play a relegation match. But which team is 25? Is it the 25 of now, which actually has three new members, or is it the 25 where the other members went to? Like they split up, and they both want to have the spot for 25. So tomorrow, first we're gonna have a game between CP and 25. That's the two members, the two teams that are now formed out of the former 25. They will fight for the spot of 25, and then they will fight in the relegation match later that night. So it's gonna be 3 PM tomorrow CET time. Then we're gonna see the first relegation or the first match for the spot in the relegation match. By the way, if you're wondering like what has happened to WeAsAsian, etc., WeAsAsian spot, of course they also had a spot in Starladder, but there's gonna be qualifiers for that rather than being picked off by the ProSeries, etc. So qualifiers for that. Anyways, thank you for watching. Sorry for the lag there at the end. It has stopped again. Don't know what it was. It was awkward. That was what it was. But don't worry, I'm gonna be moving by the end of the month, so I will be having better internet there. And well, if you want to support me, subscribe to my YouTube, which is youtube.com/SheeverGaming. And might be doing some in-houses, might be doing some matchmaking. Not sure just yet. Stick around anyways, and be right back.